Welcome back to the Edgewater Avenue YouTube channel. In today's video, we are making the Juliet top. This is going to be an advanced pattern, so before you go and buy it or before you sew, I definitely recommend making a practice garment, which you should do anyways just to test the sizing. But especially this one, it's going to be a little more difficult, so fair warning. Now let's jump right in. For materials, you will need 1/2 yard of swimwear fabric. Make sure that your fabric is 60 inches in width. This way it can fit all the straps that are required. 1/4 inch swimwear elastic. And one option is using 1 inch elastic to put into the straps. I do recommend doing the 1 inch elastic if you need a little more support. I'm not going to show you how to do that in this tutorial, but make sure to follow me on Instagram as I will be posting a lot on how to do that. You're going to need a cutting tool like scissors or a rotary cutter. I highly recommend having a good pair of scissors on hand for this tutorial. We are going to be doing some trimming that requires a lot of precision. Pins or clips. Here I'm using clips, and I highly recommend using clips instead of pins if you have them available. When we do the gathering on the cups, it's a lot easier to get it to stay in place with clips instead of pins. But of course, as always, use whatever you have available. And not shown here, since it reflects with my lighting, is an acrylic ruler. This is a great tool to help cut straps. And then of course, there are 2 special items you're going to be needing for this style because it's an underwire top. So first are the underwires. This top is drafted using the round underwires from TaylorMade Shop. Those are linked in the description of this video, as well as on the Juliet top product listing on my website. You're going to be choosing an underwire that matches your bra size, and this pattern supports wire sizes 32 through 44. The other special item you'll need is 3/8 inch underwire casing. You can also pick this up at TaylorMade Shop or any bra supply store. And the last thing to note is that in this tutorial, I'm using both an overlock machine as well as a regular sewing machine. You don't need to have an overlock, but it's nice to have, but it's definitely not required for this tutorial. However, you do need to have a regular sewing machine. We're going to be doing a lot of straight stitching in this one. And if you don't have an overlock machine, you can use a zigzag stitch or any sort of stretch stitch wherever I'm using an overlock. And before we get cutting, you should head over to edgewaterav.com to purchase the PDF pattern for the Juliet top. So moving on to cutting, this pattern includes quite a few pieces, so let's break it down. There is an inner cup, which has 2 sections, a top and a bottom. And then there's an outer cup, which is all one big piece. And then there is a separate piece for the bridge. And note that for the cups, there are the left pieces and the right pieces. So make sure to go inside the instruction pages on your pattern where I will have labeled every little piece and their numbers. There's also 2 shoulder straps and 2, we're going to call them tabs. Those aren't included inside this pattern because they're just rectangles, but the exact measurements that you'll need to cut are included inside the pattern. So that's a lot to do and a lot to cut. First, we're going to start off with our inner cup pieces. So get out the inner cup pieces for both the left and the right cup. As a reminder, there is a top and a bottom piece for each. And in a lining fabric of your choice, you're going to cut 1 in each pattern piece. For my lining fabric, I'm using a regular swim fabric as I usually do. But the big thing here is you're going to want to make sure you are using stretch fabric for all pieces on this top. Also, when cutting, you'll want to transfer the pattern markings onto your pieces if you plan to use them. The pattern markings are more of a guide to help you line up your seams as you sew, so they're not required to do anything special on this top, but use them if you want or don't. But to explain the markings, there's ones on the inner cup and then there's one on the outer cup. So the inner cup has a mark on the apex, and that's going to be seen on both the top and bottom inner cup. And then the bottom piece of the inner cup has another marking, and that one is going to be matched with the outer cup later on. Moving on to our outer piece, you're going to get your left and right outer cup pieces, and you're going to cut 1 in each pattern piece in a fabric of your choice. Also, in the bridge piece, you're going to cut 1 in your outer fabric. Not included in the pattern are 4 straps you must cut. There are 2 shoulder straps, and then there's 2 tabs that are going to be used to thread the shoulder straps through. Like mentioned before, make sure to consult the direction pages of your pattern to get the exact measurements. Now we have all our pieces and we can start construction. First, we're going to take care of all our non-cut pieces. So that's going to be our shoulder straps, our tabs, and our bridge. Fold your tabs and straps in half lengthwise with right sides together and sew along the raw edges to make a tube. On the shoulder straps, you're also going to sew one of the short ends closed, and I will show you how that's done later. I am not using elastic for this, but definitely add some if you'd like to have better stretch and more support. And if you want to use your 1-inch elastic in those shoulder straps, now is the time to do it. For the bridge, you will match together the short sides with right sides together and then sew along the raw edges. Again, no elastic is necessary here. Now, before I go use my serger to do this, I am first going to tack together the seams with a basting stitch. A basting stitch is a long straight stitch that's meant to be temporary. This is a practice stitch in some ways. It's meant to help you tack everything together so you can make sure you like how it lines up, and then you'll go do your final stitch right on top of it. Once you've tacked together your pieces, you can take them over to the serger and sew your final stitch. Here I'm using a 4-thread overlock stitch with high quality polyester thread. At this step, you will also want to sew one end of the shoulder straps closed. This is going to allow us to take it to the right side later, but we'll still have a clean finished edge. Now all our pieces are finished up and we're going to flip them all to the right side. For the bridge and the tabs, you can do this by hand, but for the shoulder straps, I'm going to be getting out my loop turner and using that to turn them to the right side. If you don't have a loop turner, you can use a safety pin. Continuing with prepping our pieces, we are now going to focus on the bridge. I'm going to use some underwire channeling to put inside the bridge to prevent it from stretching. You could also put a non-stretch fabric inside. I just find it pretty convenient that I already have underwire channeling, so I'm just going to snip a little piece and put that inside instead. So insert the channeling inside and align it along the bottom. Then, using a straight stitch, sew each side of the bridge closed, which will sew in your channeling. Afterwards, you can trim off the excess. Next, get your tab pieces out, and we're going to fold them in half once more and sew the 2 ends together. This is going to create a loop where our straps will be going through once the top is finished. I like to break this up into 2 steps by first sewing the ends closed and then folding the tab in half and sewing it together. The last piece of prep we'll do is sew the remaining open end of our shoulder straps closed. This is going to make it easier to sew the straps into the cup here in a few steps. For the next few steps, we're going to be working on the cup pieces, and I'm just going to be showing you on one cup piece, but you will be doing this for both. So let's start with the lining cup. First, match your upper and lower cup pieces with the right sides together and sew along this seam to join them. If you use the pattern markings, you can use the marks at the apex of the cup to help guide you as you sew this seam. I'm using a 4-thread overlock stitch again, and I am not using elastic. I didn't show it on camera, but of course I did do a basting stitch before sewing this. It just helps you line everything up beforehand. Now the inner cups are put together, and we're now going to sew the inner cup to the outer cup. Get your outer cup pieces out and place your inner cup against them with right sides together. We're going to sew just along the top line, making sure not to sew that strap opening. Here I will be using my 1/4-inch swimwear elastic. First, I'm doing my basting stitch to help tack everything together, and then I'm switching over to my serger and attaching elastic on at the same time as I sew this seam. It wouldn't hurt to very slightly stretch the elastic to help it sit a little nicer on the chest. Here I didn't, but that is an option. Now that our cups are attached, we're going to flip the inner cup out of the way, and we are going to start the gathering on our cups. To do this, you're going to sew a basting stitch along either side of the cup, starting at the top and then finishing at the bottom of the outer cup. When you do this, you're going to want to backstitch at the top of the seam but do not backstitch at the bottom. That is required, otherwise you're not going to be able to do the gathering the way we're doing it here. And there is 3/4 of an inch of seam allowance, so there is plenty of room to do this. A good tip that I didn't show here is doing 2 basting stitches side by side instead of 1. This is going to help those gathers just look a little bit better. You'll have a little more control. It's an extra step, but if you're wanting to be really careful and precise, that is a good idea. But before we start gathering, we're going to be inserting our shoulder strap in and sewing it down. So insert the shoulder strap into the strap opening, making sure that your cut piece is still inside out, and using a straight stitch, you're going to sew down that strap. There is 1/4 inch allowance along this top line, so just make sure you're accounting for that. Afterwards, trim the excess. Now coming back to the gathering, you're going to start on one side. Grab one of the threads at the bottom and begin pulling. When you do this, you should be able to move the fabric along that seam, and this is what is going to create that gathering effect. So just start that gathering and kind of get a feel for where you want this to go. I recommend concentrating the gathering towards the top of the cup, but really have fun with it. Go with whatever look you think is best. Your goal here is to match the outer cup with the inner cup along that wire line. So as you gather, use your clips and just line up that wire line and style the gathering however you'd like. Then once you're happy with how everything is looking, you like the gathering and that wire line matches up with the inner cup, go ahead and sew a straight stitch, tack all that down and finalize it. So that finishes that beautiful gathering effect, and now we're going to finish the rest of the top. So get your bridge piece and one of your tabs out. Place them against one of the cups with right sides together. You're going to sew them down in place. Notice that the bridge and the tab are facing inside the cup. They're not hanging off the edge. You can choose where you want these pieces to go. I personally like my bridge at the very top, and I like my tab piece a few inches down. I think it has a little better support, but put each of these pieces wherever you want. Where you put them will affect the fit, but it also can be a stylistic choice. Regardless of where you have them go, you're going to be using a straight stitch and sewing them down at this time. Now we're going to be attaching our channeling onto this cup. Place the underwire casing with the plush side up onto the right side of the cup, covering the edge. Then use a straight stitch and sew down the inner side of the underwire casing. Once one side of the casing is down, you're going to trim the excess seam allowance to help get rid of the bulk. Be super careful and slow with this because it is very easy to accidentally cut into the cup. Now flip the casing over onto the lining side, and this time we're going to sew the other side of the casing. Again, you will want to use a straight stitch for this. Remember, you need to insert a wire inside this casing, so just make sure you're not closing it up by sewing too close to the center. So that finishes off one cup, and now we're going to move on to the other. Quick note before we jump into this, I mistakenly added the underwire casing before I added the bridge and the tab. So in the next few clips, you might be wondering why there's channeling when I haven't mentioned anything about it. Ignore it, it's not there. So place the other side of the bridge onto the remaining cut piece with right sides together. And you're going to do the same thing with the tab that we did in the last step. So sew down the bridge and the tab into place onto the second cup. We're going to do this the exact same way. Right sides are together and the bridge and the tab should be facing inside of the cup. It should not be hanging out. Then you can go back and add on your casing using the exact same steps we did for the first cup. The last step is inserting your wires inside the casing and sewing the casing closed. Remember that this underwire casing is a tube, so you should be inserting the underwire inside of it, not between the casing and the top. Once your wires are in, you can use a straight stitch to sew the casing closed on both sides. Finally, thread your shoulder straps through. You can either do a crisscross or you can do straight across, and that completes the Juliet top. Here's the final result. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial. I had a lot of fun making this underwire style, so much so that I'm going to be releasing a lot of underwire patterns this year. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel to see what tutorials are coming out. And make sure to buy the Juliet top sewing pattern right now at edgewaterave.com. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.